Good morning, and welcome to the first ever Morning Wood with Dilcox. I am, of course, your host, Gregory Dilcox. Now, I know if you look at the time this is posted, if it shows what time this is posted, it's afternoon, mid-afternoon, so technically not morning, but it's Saturday. So as far as I'm concerned, anytime between when you wake up and when you eat dinner is morning. First off, I want to thank my good friend Steve for coming up with the title of the show, Morning Wood with Dilcox. It's hilarious. And it's inappropriate, which is why it's hilarious. Because my name is Dilcox. It has Cox in it, and I've got Morning Wood. I took care of that. Okay, yeah, that's the kind of show we're going to be running here. First off, thanking Steve. Second off, I want to apologize to anyone who may have stumbled upon this video looking for porn on YouTube. I don't want to apologize because I tricked you or anything. I want to apologize because you're dumb enough to be looking for porn on YouTube. 99.98% of the internet is pornography. Don't look for it on YouTube. There's hundreds upon hundreds of free pornography sites out there. And children, most of them don't age verify, and if you clear your browser history, you're in the clear. Or better yet, if you're using Google Chrome, watch it incognito. Parents, don't worry. Your children are going to watch it anyway. I'm just helping them not get caught because you're uptight. You're welcome. But I do want to remind children, if you're too immature to buy condoms or pregnancy tests, you're too immature to be having sex. That's all I'm going to say. So, parents, you're definitely welcome for that one. Not that they're listening to me or watching this, and neither are you. Yeah, this is going to be a rough show every week, or every other week, or every third week, whatever I post it, because that's how I will run things. Anyway, the reason I started this show is it's always been a dream of mine to be a talk show host. I wanted to be Conan O'Brien. I wanted to be Jon Stewart. I definitely don't want to be Jimmy Fallon because he laughs at his own jokes and everything else, and that just drives me nuts. Wish him the best of luck with The Tonight Show. It'll be a good half a season before they replace him with Leno. Anyway, the only problem is I didn't have guests, I didn't have an audience. And now, thanks to the magic of the internet, I still don't have guests, and I probably most likely still don't have an audience, but you're damn right I'm a talk show host now. Yeah. With that said, I actually do have a guest this week. My good friend Josh was down in Pittsburgh at the end of December, so he was gracious enough to sit down and have a chat with me. We first chatted about Against Me, the band we had seen the night before on New Year's Eve, and then we talked about our favorite things of 2013. In that video, I mentioned a segment I was going to do later in the show, Life Talk with Reverend Dilcox. I scrapped that because Josh and I went so long, so please ignore that part of the video. That segment will be coming on next week's show, and it will be glorious. So anyway, here is Josh and my conversation in a segment we're calling Conversation with Greg, because it's not really an interview. It's excited for the first conversation with Gregory, my good friend Josh. A little background on the two of us. We've known each other since we were 12, I'd say.
Probably.
Modified football.
That's right.
So, wow, 99. So.
Yeah, what an interesting year that was.
Yeah. Y2K didn't happen that year.
Well, it did.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't a disaster.
No disaster. No nuclear.
Kind of upsetting,
warhead.
actually. I was hoping for something. It was kind of anticlimactic.
My mother, who's going to be one of 3 viewers who sees this, she did do minor stockpiling for us, so.
I think everyone did a little bit. We had a lot of water in our basement, just in case.
Just a lot of water in your basement you can't go wrong with. When you said that though, like I assumed your basement, you letting it flood, which wouldn't be good for a disaster to have a flooded basement. WWF at the time did a countdown to the end of the world that night. So that's what I did, was watch that. I think it was on USA Network probably. So I wasn't worried too much.
That's funny.
But yeah, we've been friends for a long time now. Well over a decade.
Yeah.
And you drove all the way down here to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it was only an 8-hour drive.
Yeah,
So.
just to be on this show that no one's going to watch.
Exactly.
Not for anything else. Or really to see Against Me, which we did last night.
That was fantastic.
Thoughts on that?
That was amazing. The energy was just... That was one of the most energetic shows I've ever seen.
For anyone watching this who doesn't know Against Me, folk-influenced punk band from Florida. They've been around since the mid-90s, I believe. The most notable thing about them, other than being awesome for us, is that frontman Tom Gable came out to Rolling Stone a couple years as transgender and has gone through the surgery in public. So that was interesting. You were lucky enough to see Against Me when it was Tom Gable.
I had seen Tom Gable, and I've also seen it with Laura Jane Grace, which both were excellent shows, but I actually enjoyed this one a lot better. I don't know, maybe she, I guess, felt more comfortable with herself and was able to put forth that much more effort into the show. I don't know.
I think the thing that struck me about seeing her come on stage was, like, I've seen pictures, like I saw pictures throughout the whole transition.
Yeah.
And so some of those pictures probably weren't going to be flattering because the surgery and the hormones are taking effect, but she was radiating. She was like gorgeous when she came on stage last night, and I think a lot of that had to do with like the confidence and the energy she had coming out there.
Yeah, I believe that. It was definitely, it was visible.
But my favorite show of the year, of course I only saw 2 shows.
It's definitely up there for me, that's for sure.
What would you say was your favorite show? I know you saw a fair amount of them this year.
I saw Jimmy Eat World twice, but my favorite show was Brand New in Buffalo, because I've just been wanting to see them for so long, and their show was just fantastic.
I wasn't sure. I knew you loved the Brand New show, because you were raving about it the other night. You raved about it to me when you saw it. But I knew you'd seen Jimmy Eat World a couple times this year, so I thought you were still going to lead to Jimmy Eat World, knowing how much you loved Jimmy Eat World.
They were both fantastic. They're both different. One was it was like a festival setting, and the other was more intimate, closed setting. So I mean, it was nice to get that different.
How do you feel about the festival setting?
I personally don't care for it, because there's just so much going on, and you're just there for so long, you almost lose interest. That's my opinion anyway.
My least favorite thing about a show is the people coming and going. I know you hate it as well.
Yeah.
And like the festival, it breathes.
Yeah, everyone's just wandering.
And it drives me nuts. What I do love about the festival is, I know when I was at Bonnaroo, I loved 30-minute sets. 30-minute, just leave it all out there. 60-minute, just leave it all out there. No encore, just you get what you get.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Other than that, and also the number of artists you can see if you get a good festival. I think I like how the Ottawa Blues Fest does it, where it's full concert sets for a lot of the acts with stages you can't really go back and forth.
Right. Yeah, that's the beauty of the festival, is just the wide range, the variety, and all the options is great that way, that's for sure.
So your favorite show, we now know that. How about, let's start, we'll skip books, because I know you, much like me, you don't read new releases.
No.
So we'll skip books. We might come back to that in a couple minutes, but favorite TV shows you were watching this year?
Probably The Goldbergs. I'm just gonna say that, because
I like that you said it.
It is hilarious, it's fresh, and I think, I don't know, the 80s theme just adds right to it. It just adds an extra level of hilarity just for the nostalgia, but all the characters on the show, all the actors play their characters really well, and that's probably my favorite new show.
I'm loving The Goldbergs. I also have been loving, have you been watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine at all?
I haven't, no.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine has me laughing out loud, but I think my favorite show is actually The Goldbergs' partner in crime, Trophy Wife. I love Trophy Wife, and I was hesitant to get into it, but I couldn't help it.
I understand. I watched it basically on accident the first time, and I was like, wow, this is actually hilarious. It's a lot of fun.
The cast is just, it's fabulous. It's
fantastic.
It's smarter than it has any right to be called Trophy Wife. What a terrible name.
Agreed, and the children in the show are some of the better actors than almost every other show on television.
Now, have you seen the Michael J. Fox show at all on NBC?
I have not yet.
That, I mean, first off, love Michael J. Fox and the way they handle his Parkinson's. They don't have kid gloves on it. They
Nice.
make some fairly like raunchy and mean Parkinson jokes, but not to the point where they're exploiting it
Right.
at all. So I appreciate that. But the children are fabulous. They've had whole episodes centered around the two teenage characters,
Nice.
and they carry it. Which, when you're in a show with Michael J. Fox and you can carry scenes, you're doing well,
Yeah.
especially someone that age.
Agreed.
Because he's been doing it since longer than we were alive.
Yeah, forever.
What about dramas? What are you watching for dramas?
Well, I guess I've seen Marvel, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it for dramas. But I do enjoy that show. It's like a whole different aspect of like the superhero scene. Like you know what's going on with all the superheroes, but then you know S.H.I.E.L.D's there doing something. You never really know what they're doing, but it's a nice little look into it. And Agent Coulson is always a blast to watch.
Agent Coulson is fabulous. I like that they're finally fleshing out the characters and the relationships,
Yeah.
because those first 3 or 4 episodes it took too much time,
Yeah,
and it makes me wonder, because Joss Whedon's his characters have always been fantastic,
right.
and it makes me wonder how hands-on he actually is with it, because he's got so much, like they're sending him in a helicopter to rewrite the scripts for Thor, and he's got so much going on, and I wonder if his attention wasn't really there.
Right.
But as they got to the Thor movie release and the tie-in episode, all of a sudden the characters are more fleshed out, and it feels like, oh, Whedon came back in.
Right.
What about stuff that's not new to this era? What are you watching this year?
Well, I did rewatch Firefly. That was fantastic.
Always
As always.
fantastic.
And I'm also rewatching Arrested Development, which is another fantastic show.
So you're doing a lot of binge rewatching then.
Yeah, basically.
Now I don't know if you're current with it, but you started watching one of my favorite shows, Raising Hope.
Ah, yes. I'm not very current, but I did get into it recently.
I don't think I laugh out loud more at any other show than Raising Hope. And I keep trying to come up with why I find it so hilarious. First, the character actors are just all fabulous.
They're all fantastic.
And Greg Garcia can do no wrong, but even with him not being on the show this year, him off on the Millers, which is good as well. There's so many good sitcoms on right now. There's a lot of bad sitcoms on as well, but let's not focus on those. There's a lot of good sitcoms, and a lot of new good sitcoms that I don't think are getting the praise they need to. But Raising Hope is just, I remember when I was a kid watching the VH1 special on The Simpsons, and someone described it as like a low-brow, high-concept comedy.
Yeah.
And I think Raising Hope really does that high-low thing well. It's so intelligent while it's lowbrow characters.
Right. It finds a way to connect with literally anybody who watches.
Yeah. And good for the cast. I'm hoping, I know they're on the Friday Night Death spot, but Fox seems to be promoting them through the roof and even launching a new show this January with them. So
Nice.
I think with them and Bones, which I don't think you watch Bones.
I do actually.
You do watch Bones.
I do watch Bones now.
Okay.
They did move it to Friday night too, that's how I got into Raising Hope actually.
Ms. Bones.
It was
Okay.
After Bones.
In Bones, it's been on, I think, 6 or 7 years now, and it doesn't feel like it's missed a beat. It's just always solid and consistent. And so I think the Fox Friday night, they're not going for major ratings. They're just going for solid and consistent now.
Right.
So it makes me think that we'll see Bones and Raising Hope next season as well.
They both have like a loyal following, I think, which they expect.
My fingers are crossed. Not that anyone at Fox will ever see this, but my fingers are crossed. What about movies? What did you love this year for movies?
Probably my favorite movie, new movie I saw was Two Guns.
Yeah,
Because
Two Guns was fantastic.
The chemistry between Denzel and Mark Wahlberg was just fantastic.
I would watch the two of them do just about anything.
Yeah, pretty much. I could watch them hang out, just eating pie in a diner.
Now, did you ever watch Entourage?
I haven't, no.
I love Entourage, but it's a terrible show. But I think like what Wahlberg was trying to capture with Entourage, him and Denzel just have on the screen like that natural chemistry.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes that was lacking on Entourage, so they had to make up in other aspects for it. So I think if they were to redo Entourage, it should just be Mark Wahlberg and Denzel hanging out. Other than Two Guns, what did you love though?
Well, on a similar note, it was Pain and Gain with Mark Wahlberg, just because of Dwayne Johnson's role. It was just some fantastic acting. It's like the best role I've ever seen him in, which I was actually surprised to see that depth out of
Well,
him.
that's just because you didn't see the Tooth Fairy.
That's true. I have not yet seen the Tooth Fairy, so I haven't seen this caliber of acting from The Rock, but...
I mean, really, we should bring in Ryan if we want to rank The Rock's film roles here.
That's true.
I think The Rock's best role ever was the episode of that 70s show where he played his grandfather. Which he didn't really even play his grandfather, he just played himself using his grandfather's name, which I thought was kind of weird. Like, play your grandfather, respect your elders. Or don't, I don't care.
Maybe that's exactly what he was like. You never know.
His grandfather also did The People's Elbow.
That's where he got it from.
You gotta learn it from someone, I guess. You can't just come up with that awesomeness. What movie did you hate?
What did I hate?
Yeah, was there anything you hated?
My least favorite movie. I don't know. I have to agree with you. Anchorman 2 is probably the most disappointing movie I've seen. Although it's most recent, but I've been pretty happy with everything else.
Then I really, really did not like Anchorman. But I still think just because, like, the down level in Anchorman was great, but we knew they were going to be used wrong.
Right.
Like, I love Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
But Paul Rudd is best when he's that charming, likable man, not when he's playing a slapstick character.
Right.
I mean, he peaked with slapstick at American Summer, so. And so we knew that was going to happen. That's just how that film was going to be. For me, it was Oz the Great and Powerful was the worst. I mean, when Zach Braff is the best part of the movie and it's just his voice, there's a problem. It was like all these talented actors got together and said, let's just take the paycheck and phone it in.
Yeah. I forgot about that movie. I just completely forgot
It was that bad.
Yeah,
You forgot.
I was gonna have to change my answer to that because I mean, I guess I had high hopes because I was into the Marvel adaptation of the Oz books.
Yeah.
And seeing this was, and so yeah, the cast, like you said, and such a fantastic cast, and to come out with that, that's definitely disappointing.
Of course, I think if either of us saw Lone Ranger, that might be on there, but.
Yeah, I hadn't seen it.
Yeah. You didn't see American Hustle yet, which you should.
No, I'm excited to see it.
Jennifer Lawrence was fantastic. Jennifer Lawrence is never bad at anything, though.
That's probably true.
I mean,
I'm not going to test out Hunger Games, just to be honest.
And you know, when the first movie came out, I avoided it like the plague. I only ended up watching it because there's a girl involved. Go figure.
That'll happen.
But I really actually enjoyed it. I don't think I'm ever going to read the books because, I mean, I'm not going to say I don't read young adult novels because sometimes I just want to read a 300-page novel in a day. But I'm not going to go back and read the books. I don't feel I need to.
Right.
Just because the movies are fairly predictable.
Yeah.
But they were good. Well acted. I mean, anything with Woody Harrelson is going to be good. The most surprising thing was how good Lenny Kravitz was.
Lenny Kravitz.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you just think about that. Lenny Kravitz was excellent.
Well, that's fantastic to hear.
Spoiler alert, he dies in the second one, so he's not going to be in the third, so he won't be great in it. Unless there's a flashback, I guess there's always a flashback. So.
Possible.
And as How I Met Your Mother has proven, you don't actually need to re-show scenes that have happened for a flashback. You can just make them up. Music. What did you love in music this year?
Well, I don't know how much new stuff I've gotten into, but I just loved all the concerts I've been to.
I had, probably about 2 months ago, I decided to go through and list all, because of doing the cool points and knowing I wanted to make an end of the year list, started watching movies from 2013.
Nice.
And listening to albums from 2013. And I have to say the most surprising album that I've absolutely loved is Aluna George, who is this duo, female British R&B singer with a DJ, and it's just this smooth British R&B.
Nice.
And it, hands down, my favorite album of 2013 that I listened to. I can't not keep listening to it. It is the only softer thing I listen to on my walk to work, and it's definitely played all the time on my walk home. She does a cover of Montel Jordan's "This Is How We Do It."
Nice.
And that's how it closes it, so I always have to listen to the whole album because I have to hear that song. But just really solid. There's just too much crap for R&B out there. And it's become too much like the ringtone jingle hip hop, which I absolutely hate.
Yeah.
And just nothing, thud beats with nonsense choruses, no substance. So it was nice to find something new because so far all I've had is John Legend for the last couple of years. That's really it. And then Frank Ocean coming in, but even with his second album, I didn't like that as much as like the stuff he was doing before the major label and Odd Future blew up to the extent they've blown up. So other than that, the Arctic Monkeys was another one I really, really liked, which I'd seen them when they opened for the Black Keys, and I was under the wrong impression. Someone had played me the Arctic Monkeys years before. I thought they were like a generic folk band.
Right.
But no, they're not. Not at all. And the new album was just fantastic. I was like, wow. I want to say Albert Hammond Jr. produced it, but please don't quote me on that. Not that anyone's going to. Because no one's watching. Was there anything you listened to that you hated this year?
Well, I was slightly disappointed with new Soundgarden, which I actually had high hopes. I love Chris Cornell, and I enjoyed old Soundgarden, and I love what he was doing with Audioslave. But to come back and to put out almost generic alt-rock again.
And I guess I kind of expected him to do generic alt-rock again, only because I felt like that's what Audioslave was.
Right.
And maybe it's just because Tom Morello is just so fantastic. And so I'll listen to The Rage, which you picked up the anniversary edition of the first album. That's kind of insane, but you listen to what Tom Morello can make a guitar sound like.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's playing like generic alt-rock riffs, even when they let him cut loose a little bit, it's just still so watered down. And I'm like, no, just let him rip. So I guess I didn't even bother with the Soundgarden because I'm like, I think it's just going to be generic. But
I have been disappointed with what I'm hearing in the pop stations. I don't listen to it regularly, but I can hear what's popular, and it's just sad to me.
Some of it, I'm with you, but as much hate as she's gotten, I've loved the Miley Cyrus stuff this past year.
That's awesome.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because of all the controversy, but I just, Wrecking Ball is catchy as all hell, and I really, really enjoy it. And then the second single, I really have only listened to what she did on Jimmy Fallon with The Roots, and I guess when The Roots get a hold of something,
that's
it's
true.
going to be good.
Pretty much at The Roots.
Which is why I need to get Questlove to be my house band.
That would be fantastic.
I don't think I can afford him.
Probably not.
Plus, I think he has 14 jobs right now, so.
Yeah, it might be a little busy.
What are you looking for in 2014?
Wow. Just everything. Like to do it all over. Do it all over again.
Do it all over again. You're just going to repeat 2013?
Exactly. I don't know, everyone's so ready to get rid of it for some reason, but.
And it's interesting you mentioned that because one of the segments I'm going to do on this first show is Life Talk with Reverend Dilcox. Now, of course, you know I'm actually an ordained minister.
Yes, I do.
The three viewers, since it's my mother, my brother, and Sam, know I'm an ordained
That's
minister.
true.
But anyone who stumbles across this and just sees Morning Wood with Dilcox and thinks that they found porn on YouTube, they don't know I'm an ordained minister. I'm an ordained minister, so you're not seeing porn here. Or you might, I don't care. But I'm going to, as Reverend Dilcox, I'm going to do like a Southern preacher type thing, almost like in last season of Justified with the snake charmer. And the first topic for my Life Talk is going to be the BS New Year, New You thing. Because, actually, it drives me nuts. We were talking about this yesterday. I'm all about if you want to better yourself somehow, like if you want to learn Spanish, if you want to learn sign language, if you want to quit eating fast food, good. I drink soda this past week, but I quit soda last year, and I love it. Who knows what I'm going to cut out this year? Probably nothing. I love me. I don't think I'm going to change too much. But I'm okay with the changing. I just drives me nuts that people think that they have to.
Right.
Look at the good stuff. Look at the positives. There's so many good things. And so that'll be in a segment or two. Who knows how I edit this and what I actually film for it, but that'll be something I do. I'll probably end up getting a lot of comments from people talking about how I'm mocking Southern preachers or something, but that means they watched the video, so
that's good news.
I win, they lose. Suckers. Anyway, I'll let you go.
Fantastic.
Because you have a drive.
Yeah.
Because you're probably doing roofing or something in the morning.
Might as well.
Whereas I'm just going to take a nap and edit videos tomorrow. So
sounds like a good plan.
Thank you for being the first ever guest.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
Hopefully when I'm home, whenever it is I return home. Alright, I want to thank Josh. As you can see, we did go a little long there. But honestly, we could have spoken for hours more. That's just when we get going, we get going. If you are interested in more of my favorite things of the year, on my webpage, cool-points.net, every Thursday of this month I am listing a new top 10 list of things I liked in the year 2013. And that'll wrap up the last week in January, so there's 2 more left. Currently, music and events are posted. No, TV shows and events are posted. Movies and music will be the next 2. As I said, we scrapped the life lessons. This has just already gone too long, and that one was too lengthy. So that'll be a segment for next week. This week, I do want to do a segment I'm going to call Trends That Annoy the Shit Out of Me. And this is every week I will discuss some sort of trend that annoys the shit out of me. It's self-explanatory at best. And this week I want to talk about something that drives me absolutely bonkers on social media. And that is when someone has the next 2 days off and they announce to everyone it's their Friday. So it'll be Tuesday afternoon, going to work, it's my Friday. No, it's your fucking Tuesday like the rest of ours. You know how I know this? The fucking calendar tells me so. Yep, I said it. You know when your Friday is? Friday. I will be out on Friday night. You should too. Not Tuesday night because it's not your Friday. You know what you can't do on your Friday? You cannot go and get the Friday specials at happy hour. No, you get the Tuesday specials, which are never as good. Unless, of course, you go to a bar that has trivia, and then the Tuesday specials are better, because trivia is awesome. And that's been a trend that drives the shit out of me. Okay, and that's going to wrap up our show. I wanted to go longer, but I have no idea what I'm doing, and Josh and I went so long. Next week, I will have my first ever celebrity interview. Kinda. I will be back with another trend. And of course, the good Reverend will give us some live talk. So I hope you tune in. As I mentioned earlier, I do have a website. The link is at the bottom of the page. Not my crotch. Below the video. I just pointed to my crotch on the internet. That's what the internet's for, right? And I'm also on Twitter and Facebook, both with links which you can be found. Maybe you'll come back next week, but you probably weren't here this week. So anyway, let's close with a segment that I want to call Saturday Night. Because Saturday morning to me leads right into Saturday night. There's no afternoon. And if you're like me, Saturday has to involve a dance party sometime during the night. So for that, I suggest the Violent Femmes self-titled first album. If you're cool like me, you'll have it on vinyl. If you're not, buy the CD or the download. Don't illegally download it though, because we don't condone that here at all. Never, ever, ever. Unless of course you have no money, and then I guess do it. But really, buy it. And then put it on and dance. You can dance like no one's watching, because probably if you're like my internet show, no one is. Anyway, I've been Greg Dilcox, and this is Morning Wood with Greg Dilcox. Have fun, but not too much fun.